Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to Synthetic Oil Protection. I'm your host, Eben. So today we're working on Richard's beautiful 2004 Honda Valkyrie Rune. Now this is built by Honda America, and we're going to start out with an oil change, and we're starting right now. If you're new to my channel, definitely consider subscribing. You can tap the little red icon in the corner. That way you can come back and watch this important information for your vehicle later. First thing we're going to do is we're going to follow up kind of with Richard's experience. So Richard, how did this thing feel over the course of a year?
I didn't feel it at all. This is the smoothest running motorcycle I've ever ridden, and I gotta say, like, shortly after switching to Amsoil, it got quieter and it got smoother, and you just get used to it. There's all the little knocks and nicks in every engine on a motorcycle you ride. I don't even feel them anymore.
Holy cow. Yeah, he mentioned how it shifted right away, and I think we did the oil change about a year ago. We didn't get a chance to do a video on it, but however, we got a follow-up going on, and we're going to take a look at what this motor oil looks like. Richard, go ahead and set this bad boy perfectly upright, and let's go ahead and check that motor oil. So we'll take a look here. We're just going to go ahead and wipe her off. A couple of strokes on that old dipstick. Cleanliness is next to godliness, but actually cleanliness is next to impossible, so just leave it alone.
Unless it's your dipstick.
All right, we're going to go ahead and check our oil level. We're just going to thread her all the way in. Now, Richard, how many miles do you have on this thing?
25,000.
And how many miles since the oil change?
About 15,000.
About 15,000 on this motor oil and filter. And did you do a lot of highway driving or city?
About 50-50 actually.
About 50-50. And that's what the motor oil looks like. Now, how much oil did you add over the course of the year?
Nothing.
He added nothing, and that's where it's at the dipstick right there. And it looks good still. This oil is actually good for about 2 to 4 times longer than OEM, but you have to definitely be careful with your filter and check your manufacturer recommended drain intervals. But we're going to go ahead and drain her down and then feel her up. We got our breaker bar. We also got our 10 mil socket, 10 mil Allen key, should I say. And all we do is come right underneath, super easy, right here, right underneath the motor. And you're going to see the Allen key, and it's right here, and it's actually lower, and it's actually towards the side of the kickstand. So that time to go ahead and just crack her loose. All right, here we go. And there she blows. She's that easy. Worry about hitting yourself with the big long breaker bar. You don't hit yourself in the schnoz. And she feels really loosey-goosey. So I feel confident enough to just pull this pan here. And we're gonna start to come by hand. Coming by hand is always good. Make sure you don't drop your bolt off. And, we splooged all over the place. All right. And nothing's coming. Huh. Absolutely nothing's coming out. Huh.
I might just have to level the bike.
Maybe we have to level the bike. Good suggestion, Richard. We're going to go ahead and crack our motor oil loose. We got our 17 mil. And the other thing we took off is actually a drain for the oil filter. Believe it or not, we found that out because very little came out. So now all we do is come here with our big old breaker bar. Just get her on here. See if we can get a good angle on her. She could be a little bit of a stickler. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to crack her loose. There she is. Go. On the count of 3. A 1, a 2, and a 3. And there she blows. Beautiful. Look at how clean that is. It's like a little chocolate waterfall. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and crack our filter loose. We got our standard filter wrench pliers. Really makes it easy, and just a total piece of cake. Just cracking her loose here. She's already pretty loose. Now we're just going to go by hand in a second. And there she blows. That's it. Done. And come out with this cute little guy. And this is our Amsoil oil filter that was on ever since the last oil change. There she is. Alright guys, this is our old oil filter, and this has been on for about a year. And what makes the Amsoil filter so good, which this is an Amsoil filter, is it's got a silicone anti-drain back valve, and that valve doesn't deform and it doesn't crack. And you'll notice how square it is all the way around. And when you actually turn your motorcycle off and it sits overnight, on other filters like OEM, a lot of other lower quality filters, the oil actually drains back out of the filter. And when you go to start your motorcycle the next day, there's a temporary disruption in flow. And that flow does about 80 to 90% of the wear on most engines, on cars, trucks, SUVs, motorcycles, Harleys, any of them. And by using a better filter that flows faster, you have exponentially better protection. And now we're going to go into prepping our new oil filter, which is right here. This is our fresh oil filter, and it filters at 98.7% efficiency at 20 microns. Also, it's a proprietary synthetic medium, which is designed for extended drain intervals. So basically, this filter is good for about 2 to 3 times longer than the OEM Honda filter, and it actually flows faster at startup. And this is the brand new filter I'm going to take. All right, we're going to go ahead and take her out. And what this is it's a real nice upgrade. And the thing that's so great about it is when it flows faster, you actually get better fuel mileage, less resistance. So there's our brand spanking new filter, and you can see how the filter, the anti-drain back valve, looks just like the one that's a year old. And this synthetic medium in here, not only does it filter at 98.7% efficiency, but it also holds 4 times more contaminants than cellulose paper filters, and most OEM Hondas, Toyotas are all cellulose paper. So that's kind of what the difference is. We're going to go ahead and fill her halfway up and thread her on. We're going to go ahead and feel her up with our 100% synthetic metric motorcycle. This is good for a lot of Hondas, all the different major motorcycle brands. This meets and exceeds the specification by about 2 to 4 times. Some of the motor oils, it actually beats it by more than 4 times. And what makes it different is it keeps the metal separated. And by keeping the metal separated, there's less friction, less heat, less wear on the pistons and cams. Also, the bearings last much longer because there's less heat and you have much better flow. So now we're going to take our filter and we're going to fill her up about halfway, not quite because it's mounted on the side. We don't want the oil to run out. So we just put our fresh liquid gold in. 2 finger, because this isn't that big of a filter. And we're going to go ahead and get her nice and wet. It's a gingerly move. We always do, just to make sure she threads on like butter. It's a necessity. And we always want to make it easier on everything. The motorcycle, the filter, and the fingers. Got your rubbers wet. Now with confidence, we go ahead and just, well, thread her on. All right, guys, it's that time. Richard is going to have his chance to go ahead and feel her up. That time to give Richard the honors. Get in there, Richard. Feel her up.
Pour in.
Look at this.
My Amsoil.
Look at this. Look at it go. Look at that gold. Look at it. I'm watching. I got it. If you hit me with it, we're okay. Don't worry about it.
Pour that much higher.
Trust your intuition.
Wobbling all over the place. I can't control it.
Good. We got Richard. Got his toes wet. I'm coming next. All right, guys. It's that time to go ahead and feel her up. Let's do it. Just crack her loose. And now we just start feeling. We start low and just bring her up. Yeah. You can feel the protection. All right, guys. We just got warm on that last pour, but now I'm ready to really bring it up. Let's go ahead and feel her up.
Don't do it poorly.
All right, he said don't do it poorly. All right, I won't. We're going to go ahead and just bring her up tall. Here we go. Let's get in the zone.
Whoa. Even, that's perfect.
Yeah. Woohoo! We got her done. It's that time to put our 0.9 quart in. This takes 3.9 quarts. And this one I'm just going to go ahead and just do it fairly low. Got to have control with this one. I don't need any spillage. We got this far, so we're just going to hang in there. Wow.
Gotta get it in through your little...
Right. Let's go ahead and motor her up. All right, guys, it's going to be our first startup. Richard, tell us a little bit about it.
So the first thing you're going to hear is this whistle, and it's the fuel pump spraying some fuel into the cylinders. Now it's ready to start when I get it out of gear.
I can hear it a little bit, but not much.
Not much. Sit on this, you can't even feel it.
I can't even feel any vibration.
Smooth as silk. Now we let it run for 3 to 5 minutes. Check the oil level.
All right. On a 3, we'll start her up.
Ooh.
1,
Gotta.
a 2, and 3. And she's all nice and warm now, so she's off idle up. You can hear how she purrs. So, I wanted to mention to you guys, we also did a Harley Davidson on the channel with Dan back about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. We did the gearbox, the transmission, we did the motor oil on the Harley. So not only do we have the American stuff, we got, this is actually more American, I guess, than a Harley.
Than a lot of Harleys.
And when they made it back then, it's an interesting motorcycle. And we will be back next time. But you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and put a little link in the corner so you can check out that Harley Davidson fluid changes. It's a playlist of all the fluids on the Harley we did. And we could be back next time to do some more fluids on this little angel.
Well, and also, if you've got a sports bike or something like that, Amsoil makes products for you too. Don't think it's just for cruisers.
Yeah, so yeah, whether you have the Harley, whatnot. Now, Richard here, you're an Amsoil preferred customer, aren't you?
I am, and I prefer it.
He really prefers it. So yeah, if you ever want to get the products here at 25% off, I got my link in the description below. You click on it, any order $100 or more, you get free shipping, and it gets there basically next day. If you're far from a distribution center, it could be 2 days, at the most 3 days flat. The products are right there at your house. And that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
And I'm going to go ahead and put the Harley fluid changes. We'll put that description right here, and you can click on it. And that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed this and this video helped you out, definitely consider subscribing. You can tap the little red icon in the corner. And if you really thought this was a lot of fun, a thumbs up really helps the channel too. Because those crazy tall pores, I mean, you got to be careful. I mean,
Friend, like, and follow.
yeah,
Watch more.
It can be dangerous when you get into those crazy tall. Oh, let's hear it. Let's hear it. All right. We'll see you guys. Thanks. See you guys.